Welcome back to Food Entertainment for my final review for the Final Destination films. Now it'll be for 2011's Final Destination 5. This to me is my third favorite film in the franchise. And I'll explain why. I like the idea that the film points itself off as a sequel in a standalone. This can take place anywhere in a timeline movie. And then it has a freak cliffhanger ending that literally leads directly into the first movie. I mean, literally, you see Alex from the first film going nuts, losing himself after seeing the plane crash and being dragged away. You literally see him right next to our main character in this movie. He's being dragged away, and the main character's like, "Oh my God!" And then we see our main character in this film just go ahead and die. And that raises it up quite a few points. So let's go into plot synopsis. Our main character is a sales representative in a professional chef. He's going through chef school. And he's going on a company retreat. And they're going on to this bridge, I believe in San Francisco or something. On this trouble bus, this big bus. Commute bus. And he sees road construction going wrong and causes the entire bridge to collapse, to completely break up and collapse. And everybody dies, including him and his girlfriend. Now here's where it gets even more interesting now. Is interesting as Final Destination 3 on this? No. But it does two things I really like that kind of reminds me of Final Destination 3. Final Destination 3 did one thing that I didn't mention, is that it played on the weaknesses of the individuals that die. And uses, I guess, in a way of Hellraiser reference, I guess, on this. These individuals die from their desires. And it just, it just kind of goes that route. The things they do for themselves are what ends up killing them. And that's kind of the same thing that happens in Final Destination 3. So it went back to that a little. But it does it in a more unique and more interesting way. But it takes it even further. Because it shows you how to break the chain. By sacrificing a sacrificial lamb and delivering their death to get you off of death's design list. And almost believe it works. But obviously, at the end of the day, it doesn't. But art does it. And that's where it gets interesting. We never did quite get an answer to that. Which brings it to the tragic ending. After going ahead and our main character sacrificing a very, very bad person, or two very bad people, to go ahead and clear themselves off of death's list, they end up being killed anyways because they happen to be in the wrong place at the wrong time because they were on the flight that Alex is on, where he sees everybody die, including them. And then we get to go ahead and watch after all of what they've done for the entire movie. We get to see them die tragically and horrifically because they just were in the wrong place at the wrong time after surviving for this entire ordeal, which has a pretty freak climactic ending. And that's I think what makes this one my third favorite one. Now it's time for the ranking. before I go into, well, actually no, no, take it back. Let's do the quality of the film first. This is pretty much is equal to the first film in terms of deliverance of how the movie is, but in terms of picture and audio, I would say this is definitely about the same as The Final Destination. The Final Destination, again, was recorded in full HD originally, and main sound presentation was DTS audio. So it's the same thing with this one. But one thing I do like about this movie a little bit is they took a little bit more originality with the score of the film. There's a different sound design in the movie. But as for the picture, it's basically just as equally brilliantly and gorgeous to look at and stuff as the previous film. The audio, about the same as well. And it's not because of the sound technology that was used in this Blu-ray, which is, again, 5.1 DTS HD Master Audio. It's the sound design. They kind of used the same sound design. Now the 3D. When the 3D wasn't as much in your face, up your ass, up your nose, in your eyes, and down your throat like it was in The Final Destination, which is the previous film. But yeah, again, this film is really designed to be seen in 3D. But at least this one is not as annoying as the last one. I mean, the last one, they were playing around with that 3D camera, I guess, so much. It's like, throw everything at me. Throw that. I'll pick that up and throw that at me, too. Just keep throwing shit at me. They didn't do that to the point that it annoys the fucking shit out of me like it did in the last film when it comes to Final Destination 5. But it's still designed to be watched in 3D. And so you're going to have this going on. It's just not going to be a constant thing. There's good periods of time in the film to where it's not doing this all the time. But there are stuff that gets thrown at you quite a bit, yes. But is tangible, is manageable in this film. And that's all there's to say about Final Destination 5. I hope you enjoyed. Now it's time for our ranking. From worst to best. Coming in at 5, The Final Destination. Coming in at 4, Final Destination 2. Coming in at 3, Final Destination 5. Coming in at 2, Final Destination 3. And coming in at 1 is the best one in the franchise, would be Final Destination. Now, the proper way to watch the films, the proper timeline. Here's the proper timeline to watch these films if you want to watch them in continuity. Final Destination 5, followed by Final Destination, followed by Final Destination 2, followed by Final Destination 3, followed by The Final Destination. That's the proper continuity way to watch these films. Well, I hope you enjoyed this franchise. I will be back to review another franchise, which I'm pretty sure a lot of you have been wanting for a very, very long time, and it will be my pleasure to review it. 3 out of the 5, I might add, I watched in 4K and own in 4K. Unfortunately, 2 of them are not in 4K yet, so. But hope you will enjoy those reviews when I get to that franchise, which I will tomorrow. So I hope you guys had a good time. I know I did. And I will see you guys next time for the next franchise, which are all films I watched, so it will be just like this. One after the other. So until then.